Hi everyone, it's October 5th. We still haven't had our first frost for the year, which isn't really that unusual for us in this area. There have been frosts quite close to here, but the relatively warm waters of the Bay of Fundy keep frost away from the island here for a while later. But it is getting colder every night now, so sometime in the next week or two I expect we'll have our first frost. I just thought I would show you what I'm up to today. I'm going to start doing some of my final harvesting. Not ready to bring the cabbages in yet. They're still growing a bit, and I see I've got to spray again with BTK. I have some fresh cabbage moth worm damage on them, but they'll be quite all right with a few frosts on them, and then I'll bring them in and make a video on the making of my first sauerkraut. The Brussels sprouts are continuing to develop and get larger, so I guess by the time we've had frost they'll be ready to harvest. I did one small harvest of some of the top ones just to prove to myself that I really don't like fresh Brussels sprouts. They have to be frozen before I enjoy them. Freezing them seems to make them sweeter. I find the fresh ones too strong a taste for me. But anyway, I've got lots of them developing, and I don't know, they'll probably be all right in the garden for a month or more yet, because the frost only makes them sweeter, according to what I've been reading. So they are coming along nicely. I've been a little bit concerned about Brussels sprouts and cabbage both, that they might bolt or break open because of the heavy rains that we've been getting, but that doesn't seem to be happening. I did harvest one cabbage that seemed to be doing that. I'm not sure if that's what was happening or not, but anyway, it was a very good sweet cabbage. I'm trying to save the rest, as I said, to make sauerkraut with. The kale Toscano palm is continuing to come along nicely, and that's something else that's very cold hardy that will stand many hard frosts. I haven't frozen any of it for use later on this winter. I've been using it all fresh and enjoying it very much, but I guess pretty soon now I've got to blanch and freeze some of that if I'm going to have any for this winter. Well, to finish off this little update, today's garden harvest is the pole beans that I grew. They're a shelling bean, a nice large white bean that I'm going to be drying and using in winter soups, or maybe even to make baked beans out of. I'm not at all sure, as I've said before, what the variety is. They were supposed to be the Italian cannellini bean, but they're not. I'll show you when I'm cracking some of these open in a few minutes. They're much larger. If anybody has any idea what the bean might be, let me know. But they're a nice large white bean that are drying well. I've already dried some, so I will have them for winter use. Well, as you can see, I have a mixture of green pea pods and brown pea pods, ones that have been on the vine longer. I've already started to dry their beans inside the pods. I'll show you what they look like. They're a fairly good sized little bean. They shrink up a bit when they dry, but I think they'll make a nice addition to soups, or protein addition to my soups. Being a vegetarian, I'm always looking for sources of protein that I can add to my diet. So beans and rice together supposedly are a true complete protein. So beans alone, of course, are also a source of protein. Well, that concludes today's little update from the garden. There'll be a few more to come yet before things really freeze up here. I still haven't harvested my carrots or all of the beets. The only carrots and beets that I've harvested so far are the ones that I've been eating the same day that I harvest them. So a little later on I will be harvesting the remainder of them and putting them up for the winter, probably in the freezer, both of them, the carrots and the beets. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.